We have one goal: to interview the best in sports, to meet the biggest names and find out what makes them tick, and the St. Louis athletes who move the needle with their compelling story. I'm Frank Cusumano, and this is Sports Plus. It's time for spring training. Our Corey Miller took the first flight yesterday and files this report from Jupiter, Florida.
It may be quiet right now at the Cardinals complex here in Jupiter, Florida, but come tomorrow morning, this place will be buzzing with baseball. So who better to sit down with on the eve of 2023 spring training than Cardinals manager Oliver Marmol? How long does how last year ended stick with you? Is it something that lingers, or are you ready to turn the page right away?
What part?
The playoffs specifically.
Yeah, it's something that obviously you don't love the way it ends, and you're hungry to get another crack at it. Obviously, the guys are hungry for it. They've prepared all off season, and they're looking forward to showing up here and taking care of business.
For the first time in 2 decades, a different catcher will be running the show here at spring training. What made Wilson Contreras the right choice to be the next guy to follow Yadier Molina?
He's a competitor. At the end of the day, it wasn't a matter of finding the best bat or the best guy behind the plate as much as a guy that was going to compete at an extremely high level and fit into the overall mindset of what we're doing here. And he verbalized it extremely well during his interview. He envisioned himself in this uniform, and he wanted to compete for this organization, and we're really looking forward to it.
No moves made to get another starter this offseason. How confident are you in this group you have? There's a lot of guys to pick from, and there's certainly going to be a competition.
Who would you kick out?
There's a lot of names. There's 6 or 7, 8 guys you could put in there.
Everyone always wants the new shiny toy. I get it, but the reality is we have some guys that are going to compete for that rotation and some guys that are going to be on the outside looking in. And your question, are we confident with what we have? We are. If we weren't, we would have made another move. So we're looking forward to seeing that competition and how it shapes out.
Be sure to catch all of my reports from spring training this week as the Cardinals begin their quest for World Series number 12. For now, reporting in Jupiter for Sports Plus, I'm Corey Miller.
Coming up, there's nobody I would rather talk baseball with than Adam Wainwright. We will do that shortly, and he's going to tell you what got him really motivated recently. And I've never met a man like John Renaud. Even while he was losing his health, he never lost his faith. His story right around the corner.
All of them coming out. I know for Adam Wainwright, not the outing that he was looking for, but a special moment that you can take in nonetheless.
And welcome back. Adam Wainwright is my favorite interview in St. Louis sports. He is never dull, always insightful, and sometimes pretty funny. He is tonight's Cardinal Buick Sunday Conversation. Welcome to the show, and I want to ask you right off the bat, when did you know you were definitely coming back? Was it a moment with your wife, with your kids? When did you know, I'm going to pitch again?
You know, I was pitching well, and I felt like, gosh, I feel like I should be on this all-star team, you know, and I want to be, you know, and I'm having fun competing, and feel like I was still, you know, one of the best out there, and team was winning. I was having fun, and there was no thoughts of retirement anymore. I thought, you know, gosh, maybe I do want to do this a little bit longer. That's right about the time that I kind of knew. As the season got more and more, though, I thought, man, I just really just need one more because you just don't want to have regrets. I don't want to have regrets. I don't want to look back, even though I'm be turning 42 this year. I don't want to look back and go, man, I wish I would have just made those last few starts. And
so how important is passing Jess Pop Haynes to be number 2 on the all-time wins list with the Cardinals? It'd be kind of cool to say only Bob Gibson is ahead of me, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and that's the thing I'm looking at, honestly. And I've told several people this. If I could pass Jess, that would be a really cool thing for me to know that in most categories, honestly, Mr. Gibson would be the only one kind of ahead of me. So if I have another good season this year, go out there and win a bunch of games. I think Jess is at 210. Is that right?
Yes.
So 15 will tie him. 16 would be great. But I'm looking. I don't want to just win 16 games, and I got 32, 33 starts. The goal is to try to win them all. I haven't done it yet in my career, but I'm sure going to try, and I'm going to try to be great in all of them. We'll see how many we can get out there. But last year I pitched pretty great for about 3/4 of that season, and I was having a very, very hard time winning games. So it's not all up to the pitcher.
You talked about competition. Can you describe the high of that for you? Because most of us don't know what it's like.
To be able to play a game that we've played our whole life and to step onto the field knowing that there's people in the stands with tattoos of Cardinals on them, that just means so much. And they got Christmas ornaments completely covering their tree with Cardinals, and everything kind of revolves around the game. To be a part of something like that and to know and to look at that pressure in a good way and use that pressure to get the most out of your abilities, I love that. I love that. I just don't know what I would have done if I'd have played in a market that was not such an unbelievable baseball market and wasn't the greatest fan base ever. I don't know what I would have done, man. It's not the same.
What about the camaraderie with your teammates? I don't know if you even saw it, but when Jack Flaherty was asked about his relationship with you during the winter warm-up, he came to tears. When you hear something like that, what do you think?
When Jack got emotional like that, man, that makes me feel really special about the time I've been able to share with a lot of our guys. Many of our players who are much younger than me that I've been able to sort of, I won't say shepherd all the way, but definitely sort of show the ropes somewhat and pass on what I've been taught. It's a privilege for me to pass those things on, that knowledge on, and to try to lead by example. And these young players, they do a great job of listening and learning and feeding off that and leading themselves. Our guys have great leadership qualities, and Jack's one of them.
I'm not sure if you read this much, but the prognosticators have the Cardinals as about the 5th or 6th best team in the National League. What's the scenario, or what has to happen for the Cardinals to be National League champions?
When you don't play like you want to, you come back hungry that next year to prove everybody wrong and to make a name for yourself. And we got a few guys like that. And we won the division last year with a couple of guys not playing to their capabilities. We know they can. So if they do, and some of these prospects end up being like what they say they are, then we're going to be a force to be reckoned with, much better than people think. Yeah, I was looking. I use this as personal motivation too. I know I'm old, and I know I had a bad September, but I can't find my name anywhere in the top 100 pitchers in the National League, and I'm like, there's 100 pitchers better than me. I don't know about that, so I use that personally too.
What's your dream scenario for walking off the field for the final time at Busch Stadium?
Oh, there's no question about it, man. Going 9 innings and winning the World Series and hugging my catcher and being able to hoist the trophy, and then nice knowing you. Doesn't get better than that.
Welcome back. So we are celebrating 30 years of storytelling with our favorite features. John Renaud was 39 years old when he noticed he couldn't turn the key in the ignition. It turned out to be a deadly disease that he handled with so much grace and dignity. With the help of editor Tony Chambers, here is tonight's Spotlight Story. It doesn't seem right, it doesn't seem fair that a 44-year-old man who's never really done anything bad in his life now sits in a wheelchair, barely able to move. But John Renaud rarely asks, why me? And he won't give up.
Don't give up. No matter how bad, let's hope and just keep believing, but don't give up for the ones that love you.
And this father of three is not lacking in love. There's Katie, the college student from Maryville. Then there's the high school girl, Stephanie, and the youngest, Amanda. They know that this awful Lou Gehrig's disease makes those muscles hurt, and they will massage their father by the hour. They don't ask for much. They just want their dad to live.
I'm a planner, and I see things ahead in the future, and I see a lot. I'm like, where's my dad going to be in my life? You know, where is he? You know, I'm going to get married, and I want him to walk me down the aisle, and I'm going to have grandkids, you know, his grandkids, and he's not going to be there. And that's been the hardest thing for me.
John Renaud has always had soccer in his blood. As a player, he won a state title at Normandy High School, 3 national championships at Quincy College, and as a coach at Maryville University, he won 4 Coach of the Years in a 14-year career. He even met the love of his life, Margaret, because he played soccer in college.
I was playing tennis, and he was soccer, and he had to pass the courts in order to get to practice.
And you immediately became attracted to his legs, from what I understand.
That's correct. He has great legs.
Yes, the ladies have always been drawn to John, who's been happily married for 20 years. Even celebrities like Jane Fonda, Jacqueline Bisset, and Chris Everett have written notes of support.
I'm speechless.
The ALS was diagnosed in John 4.5 years ago. At first, he was way off the charts. This is video of him in 1999, still able to juggle a soccer ball. But the disease, which weakens and destroys the muscles, is taking over now. John can still walk a little, but his arms are useless. He has trouble even chewing now. And then there's the pain.
It hurts because there are things that I can't do. I mean, I've made a phone call to the doctor for pain medicine. We know that that helps the pain, but knowing that it is happening more often and on a regular basis is not pleasant.
But everyone in John's life honestly believes he will be healed. His mother.
I do believe, because I believe in miracles. And the miracle is what can happen, because nothing's impossible with God.
And we pray for a miracle, Lord God.
His wife.
No, I believe that he's going to be healed.
Great is thy faithfulness.
His daughter.
Psalm 118:17 is, I will not die but live and proclaim what the Lord has done. So that one, I don't know, it just tells me, like my dad, you know, he will live and he'll tell everyone.
I still believe God's going to heal me. I don't waver from that. It's been 4.5 years, and it's not easy, but that's what I believe.
Many will believe that this is simply a family and a household living in denial. That's not the case. They acknowledge Lou Gehrig's disease. They just believe that God is more powerful than it.
We're not denying what we see, that Lou Gehrig's disease has taken the muscle from him, and it's a huge battle. And yet we've seen other people be healed. We want to fight, and we will fight to win. We hope we don't lose. We're believing through the grace of God and through the power of Jesus, he will win.
Once a day, John has a group from his church, Rivers of Life, come and pray over him.
And Lord, your word says your word is true, and that you will keep the word that has come out of your lips and your word to John.
And when he is not having people pray for him, John is on the internet reading the Bible. It's easier on the hands than trying to turn the pages of a Bible. Or he can be found in the TV room watching his beloved sport of soccer, or preparing for his 5 weeks of Saints soccer camp at Maryville University with his wife, Margaret. They're sold out again this year. ALS has taken his body, but not his spirit.
He still has that light in his eyes and the sparkle in his smile, and still has great legs.
With editor Tony Chambers, Frank Cusumano, Sports Plus. John Renaud passed away at age 45 in 2003. I talked to his bride, Margaret, this week. She lives in the same home in Kirkwood where they raised those 3 daughters, Katie, Stephanie, and Amanda. She now has 6 grandchildren. She has never remarried, perhaps because there will never be another John Renaud. And we'll be right back. Zach Edey and #1 Purdue on the road at Northwestern. Edey and the Boilermakers look to be in control. He scores on the little baby hook to lead by 8 with 3:55 to go. It was their last field goal of the game. The Wildcats outscore Purdue 17-3 the rest of the way. They win it 64-58. Final round of the Phoenix Open. This well first health, frankly speaking. This week we got some bad news. Torrey Holt did not make the Hall of Fame. Here's the thing. I don't want to hear that he didn't make it because there's too many St. Louis Rams players in the Hall and they only won 1 Super Bowl. He had 6 consecutive seasons of 1,300 receiving yards. Nobody had ever done that. This was the 4th time he's been a finalist and was denied. You just have to ask the simple question. Did he pass the eye test? In the middle of the 8 straight 1,000-yard seasons, did he look and play like a Hall of Famer? The answer is unequivocally yes. That's our show for tonight. For our producer, Andy Moeller, I'm Frank Cusumano. We'll see you tomorrow night at 5, 6, and 10.